Okay, Terry, you can see that I have your teacup number 10 open on my screen, and this is the EMB version of it. So this is the area where you were having problems when after you had stitched it out. So one of the things that I had talked to you about was, this outline needed to actually be on the inside of this fill area here. And that's because these stitches here that you see in the light blue, these are the stitch points, and so they're actually going to be pulling on your fabric as they're being stitched. And that is why this outline needed to be on the inside of that area. But what's curious to me about it is that if we look, oh, I'm doing the wrong thing here. If we look at the upper part here where you actually had the problem, um, again, these stitches here are stitching in a sideways motion. And so technically you shouldn't have had that problem with this black line being so far up above the blue area here on the teacup. However, if you look at it closely, you're going to see as I zoom in on here that you do see a little bit of white space there. Can you see that? One of the other ways that you could examine this is to turn off the true view and actually look at the stitches as we're really zoomed in here. Um, One of the little tricks you can look at a design is to turn off the stitches, and you just select the letter S on your keyboard. That's the shortcut for it, and it takes away the stitches, and then all you see are the outlines of all of those shapes. Oh wow, and when I look at all of this green gold work that's in here, you've got a lot of tie-ins and tie-offs here. This probably ought to be redigitized. I bet that was a pain to stitch. Anyway, back to the problem. All right, so here we've got the black outline of the teacup, and this blue line right here is the fill of the teacup. Up on the top of the object, you're going to see that your black line is actually just a tiny bit outside of the fill area here. So without actually working on this design and restitching it, I think you might have had a stabilizing problem. And if it was not a stabilizing problem, then I think what I would do is, if you wanted to stitch this cup out once again, is I would actually adjust this. So it is the EMB, and I've selected the outline of the teacup. If I come into the reshape tool on here, it's probably not going to give me a lot of extra nodes and things that I can work with. But let's just see if I could add in, yeah, a little, by right clicking on the outline of that, I added in a node. So what I would do is I would just drag these in just a little tiny bit, like so, based on your stitching problem, and maybe, that's not even a lot that I'm actually dragging them in here, but I'm just holding down my left mouse key and I'm just pulling them in just the tiniest little bit, so that I get them to look sort of like that. I'm going to hit the S key again so the stitches show again, and turn on the true view, and let's take a look at it. And see, now I've just got them just slightly on the inside of that. So my recommendation would be that you would probably work on this design similar to this if you decided you wanted to stitch it out again. And maybe what you'd want to do is just stitch out this part of the design, the inside of the cup and that black line, and see if you get any different result rather than stitching out the entire thing. But since we're looking at the design, and because of my comments about this fill pattern here, turning off the true view, again, we can see all of those tie-ins and tie-offs. So gosh, that's just so many. I think I might have been mistaken. Maybe those tie-ins and tie-offs are just on these gold diamonds. Yeah, I think that's probably what it looks like. So that's not really a problem. They obviously do have to jump from one to the other. It's a beautiful project. And if you really wanted to make it again, I would suggest playing with that design, just kind of like how I just showed you to do it. See if that helps. And anyway, that's all I had to say about the project. Good luck. Bye for now.